So I did a video about Jeannie and Jeezy in 2020, right before they got married, and I almost didn't do another video about this because I initially did not feel like it. But y'all know me. The response to a situation generally is what triggers me to make a video. And after I saw the online responses from Black men after Jeezy filed for divorce, I just had to come through and do a follow-up. Because the way I've seen Black men literally backtrack, flip-flop, backpedal, and reverse everything they said about Jeannie 2 years ago when her and Jeezy got engaged, it's just hilarious to me. They are on an all-out smear campaign trying to remove this woman from the pedestal they put her on 2 years ago. And I don't feel sorry for Jeannie, I don't feel sorry for Jeezy, but there are a couple of things that I want to point out. One thing that Black men are going to always do when they are embarrassed and take an L is come together, get on code, lie, pretend they never said some shit, and completely change their opinions as if they felt that way all along. Basically to change the narrative back in their favor as Black men. And this is Black men from all walks of life. They're going to put their differences aside, come together for the greater good to pretty much make sure the Black man in the situation looks like the victim. And the really bad part about it is Black women will team up with Black men to do this, despite them not getting anything out of it. I see a lot of Black women mad about Jeannie's dark meat comment. And let me tell you something, Black women. You pointing out that a non-Black woman that's dealing with a Black man is racist, that is not going to stop Black men from chasing after non-Black women. They don't care how racist these women are. Jeezy is not, quote unquote, coming back home to a Black woman because he's divorcing his Asian woman. Hell, they might not even go through with the divorce. Y'all haven't even given it enough time before you're out here talking about, oh, now he wants a Black woman. You don't know that. And it's like, why would you even want him to get with a Black woman given his history? What, do you want him to make another Black woman a baby mama like he did the other however many Black women he was with? Do you want him to break off another engagement with a Black woman like he did with the lady before Jeannie? And it was said that he kind of blindsided Jeannie with this divorce. So do you want him to do that to a Black woman next time? Black women, this is not a win for you. This is not a win for Black people. And y'all need to understand that for most Black men, one bad experience with a non-Black woman isn't going to make them suddenly choose a beautiful, unambiguous Black woman. They'll simply choose another non-Black woman or a quote-unquote exotical. To see my exclusive content, visit Chrissy VIP at ChrissyOnline.com and be sure to join the mailing list for updates on future videos. The links are in the description box. Please like, share, and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Black men don't care about being fetishized. They never cared about the dark meat on the side comment that Jeannie made. I know that some of them are talking about it now, but it's only because Jeezy is divorcing Jeannie that they suddenly think that comment was a problem and a red flag that Jeezy should not have ignored. If he would have never filed for divorce, they would have never been talking about her making that statement. Black men give a lot of passes to non-Black women. They will always do that no matter what a Black woman says. We all know that a Black woman would not have been redeemable in the eyes of Black men had she been with a white man first like Jeannie was, and then came out talking about how she likes dark meat on the side. That would have never flied with a Black woman. And be clear, I actually have no gripe with Jeannie about the dark meat comment. I just feel like that is the Black man's fight. Jeezy knew Jeannie made that comment before he married her. He publicly defended her. He said he didn't care. He said that she was not racist. And Black men as a collective, they actually find fetishization coming from non-Black women flattering. So I'm not going to be more upset about that than Black men are. I don't think any Black woman should. That is their fight. It's not ours. So that is something I wish Black women would stop bringing up as a reason to be mad at Jeannie, because it looks like y'all are low-key caping for Jeezy, and quite frankly, it's embarrassing. I just don't think either of these people deserve to be defended by Black women. I think it's in Black women's best interest to be neutral about this. Because if you remember, 2 years ago, Black men used this relationship to chastise Black women about not being submissive enough to get a high value man. Kevin Samuels did a video about this that got over 1 million views. This is what they were putting out for the world to see. And what makes it so hypocritical is that men like Kevin and all of his so-called high-value minions, any other time they would have beef with men like Jeezy because they're reformed street dudes and thugs. That's how they talk about men like Future when women like Lori Harvey get with him. They always complain about black women choosing thugs and Pookies and Ray Rays, and that is exactly what Jeezy is. At one point, he was a D-boy. He has a criminal record. He reportedly got into a physical altercation with his son and threatened to unalive him. These are all things that so-called good black men online would say makes a bad black man and why a black woman shouldn't date said black man. But they are siding with him in this divorce as if he's the perfect angel. They've been identifying with this man ever since he got engaged to this woman, simply because he's a black man, but will turn around and tell black women not to date men like him and choose better if we do. The quote-unquote good black men want us to do all of this compartmentalization of black men and see them as the better choice, while simultaneously protecting some of the worst black men and putting the non-black women who date them on a pedestal above black women. So basically, it's okay when non-black women like Jeannie date the Pookies and Ray Rays and have babies by them, but it's not okay when black women do it. They identify with the Pookies and Ray Rays when they're with non-black women, but they want a separation to be made between them and those men when those men are with black women. And that's why it's so cringy to see black women agreeing with them when next week these same men are going to shame a black woman that gets with a man like Jeezy. Black men also were not saying anything about this woman being over 40 and quote unquote hitting the wall. They were actually rubbing her in black women's faces. Fast forward to today, they're now saying that she was too old for Jeezy to marry and have kids with. They also didn't care that she admitted that she was not submissive to her ex-husband who was white. But now they're playing old clips of her saying that she wasn't submissive to her ex and how she has an anger problem. Those clips existed years ago, but black men ignored them and they still used her relationship with Jeezy to taunt and provoke black women. And you better believe Jeezy was cool with that. Jeannie was cool with that. So I don't think either of these people deserve sympathy from black women. This is what they get. Not only does Jeannie have to deal with becoming a single mother in her 40s, but she also has to deal with getting dragged by angry black men on the internet who are snatching her off the pedestal they put her on because they perceived her to be this perfect submissive wife. Like a lot of black women who thought they would be special after the third, fourth, and fifth baby mama, Jeannie found out that she too could be discarded, married or not. And I'm quite sure she gloated in the fact that she was the one Jeezy actually married. But given his history of breaking off an engagement and making multiple women baby mamas, I'm not sure why she genuinely felt he was husband or father material. He clearly bounces when relationships get too hard for him. And this is not to say that she's perfect. I'm not caping for her at all. But ladies, a man's history with other women matters. And women gotta stop thinking you can change a man and that you're so much more special than the other women and the baby mamas that came before you. You're not. And even if Jeannie was there for the bag, why have a baby at 40 years old, especially with Jeezy, a serial baby daddy? You let that man make you a single mother at damn near 50 years old. I'm sorry, but no amount of money could make me feel okay with that reality and the public scrutiny that comes with it. I would hate to be Jeannie right now. She could have walked away from this with the bag and less emotional and physical baggage had she not had his baby. Because it's not like she needs his money. She's a high-earning woman. And that's why I personally believe that she was there for more than just the money and the fame. She really thought this relationship would last. I think she was head over heels in love. She thought she was special. She thought she could make this man stay in a long-term committed relationship. So much so that she changed her mind about having a child. But she found out the hard way that she is not special at all. And another thing I want to say to black women, stop living vicariously through these social media relationships. I like a cute love story too. I like cute engagement and wedding videos just like the next woman. But I am under no illusions about relationships and marriage. I don't drink the Kool-Aid. Like I always say, relationships are good until they are not. 50% of marriages end in divorce, and that percentage is even higher for second marriages like Jeannie's. And keep in mind that people only show on social media what they want the public to see, and it's usually the good times, it's not the bad. So smile and let it give you all the feels in that moment. But just know that what you see may not last forever, and that is okay. And to me, it's especially embarrassing to see Black women mourning the end of this relationship and being so invested in it when neither Jeannie or Jeezy really liked or respected Black women. Instead of publicly taking sides, I just think Black women should have remained indifferent. And when you think about it, Black women really were and are the primary audience that caused this relationship to become so popular in the first place. And we do this a lot, especially with Black men and their relationships with non-Black women and their children. We give them way too much of our viewership when they don't deserve it. We make them way more popular in our media outlets than they need to be. And before somebody says, well, Chrissy, you're making a video too. Yeah, I'm making a video to tell Black women how y'all look. I'm making a video to tell you that you're too focused on Jeannie being racist. You're too focused on these people being such a cute couple and having such a cute baby when you should be more focused on Black men's hypocrisy. And you should know that the way they bashed Black women at the beginning of this relationship versus how they are responding now should be the reason you let them fight their own battles. Please stop putting these relationships on a pedestal and listening to the relationship advice that Black men give online. Please stop feeling bad when they compare you to non-Black women and weaponize their relationships with non-Black women against you. Because as you can see, the relationships don't usually last with Black men, regardless of the race of woman they get with. Regardless of how quote unquote submissive they claim non-Black women to be, they still have the highest divorce rates with non-Black women, which says a lot. So please stop internalizing what the worst of Black men are saying about you, Black women. Stop trying to twist and contort yourselves into what these men want. Get off the hamster wheel and stop caping for them and their preferences and their preferences' children. You get absolutely nothing out of it. Explore your options and live your life. So that is all I have to say about this. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll catch up with you in the next video.